Hey everybody, Adam here. Um, Today's topic is a little bit controversial because this is something that is a little bit different than focusing on your career directly inside of your job or directly inside of your company. Um, and I think that the part of the challenge is that people still live in a mindset where they believe that having a single focus is going to benefit them. And there is some truth to that. That when you are focused on a specific um, trajectory in your career, that you tend to succeed, and that's something that has been built into us ever since Taylorism became a thing back in the old days. But the reality is that for a lot of people, the amount of money that they earn in their job or in their career it doesn't help them pay their bills. And even as a revenue focused engineer, you may need other streams of revenue in order to feed your family and grow your wealth and accomplish your goals, right? Like, for example, for me, I do a workshop series for a technical publisher. So I do these workshops as a sort of side gig that is outside of the realm of my normal day job. But one of the things that it has done for me is it has helped me grow my social network so that I have more opportunities inside of my own job. And what I would say is that anything that you create that is a side gig, you want to try to use your skills in a way that helps you grow your network for your other goals. Like you want any activities that you do to be synergistic. An example of this would be maybe it's a better idea to start a workshop series or start a YouTube channel rather than, say, take a side job driving Instacart. You know, so things that use your existing skill set that move you into the kinds of opportunities that you want are the way to go. In the old days, some of this meant you needed years of experience to build something valuable that you build on the side, and then that's the thing that you do. What's really interesting, though, is that in the modern times, we have access to AI, and AI can help you build things that are faster, smarter, and cheaper. But AI doesn't really replace you as the decision maker. It's only replacing people who don't leverage tools in order to accomplish an outcome. So if you learn how to combine your engineering skills that you've already built with some AI tools that are available to help you leverage those decisions, then you can instantly become 10 times more valuable learning that skill set. And I do say skill set. I like using AI is not just like asking a question and having this thing spit out at you. The real crux of using these tools is going to be understanding how they work and leveraging the knowledge and experience you've already built to know whether or not that thing is giving you something that is useful or not. So there are a couple of different ways that I see people doing this, like creating additional income and additional ways of working. So one of them is probably the most obvious. It would be freelancing with AI as your essentially your coding assistant, right? So things like building websites for people or writing code using an assistant or creating automation scripts that you can give to a client. Now, what's really interesting is that usually the places where people are going to be using their skills here are going to be smaller businesses or solopreneurs or smaller businesses. So if you work in an enterprise space, this is a very different proposition than doing work for a Fortune 500 company. Usually these are going to be people that need just simple websites. You can crank them out in a couple of hours, or simple applications, automation tools. You're not, and the important thing to know here is that if you're going to do this and you want to go sell something on like Upwork or Fiverr or something, or even private clients, you don't want to sell what you have to offer as code. These are prepackaged solutions that you implement And it's very important that you do that, because what you want to avoid is getting into the trap of trying to sell an hourly rate, right? Because if you're going to sell yourself at an hourly rate, then that doesn't really help you as far as speeding up your outcome. Because if you speed up the work that you do, then you make less money and not more. So it's very important that you hold fast, price by project, create workflows that help you create the thing that you want, and automate, because that's what this is all about, right? It's stacking up automation as best as you can in your life and in your professional career. You stack up your skills, and then those skills end up becoming more valuable in the long term. Now, as opposed to selling end products or end solutions, another thing you could do is you could choose to build and sell AI tools. So rather than having an end product that is useful for a consumer, you may choose instead to build tools that are useful for other engineers. Now, these tools oftentimes are where the real money is, if and only if you have a good means of distribution. So what I mean by that is you may build a tool for other YouTubers that are creating like AI titles and thumbnail generators. You could sell it as like a subscription. It's essentially, it's a productized income. You build it once and you continue to earn over and over again. That the biggest problem is that now that AI is really good, there are a lot of people that are doing this. So the place where you can differentiate yourself is in distribution channels that you know that other people may not. So yes, there is like YouTube as a distribution channel, or there is search engine optimization as a distribution channel. But if you can go really niche because you have a specific skill set, you can create content as a specific niche. Like my channel, for example, is the Revenue Ready Engineer. It's all about pre-sales and startup CTOs and people who want revenue skills that are close to their engineering backgrounds, right? So rather than me just saying, I'm just going to go in here and teach people Linux, it's I'm going to teach people business skills that are going to help them in their career. So the more niche you can make the particular set of skills and your expertise, the greater chance you have to be able to own a distribution channel. So that's the idea. The other thing that you can do is you can start working like exactly what this is: content and personal brand. This is incredibly underrated. I mean, I'm here, right? Like this is what I'm doing. You can create, in addition to this YouTube channel, you can create things like Twitter threads, LinkedIn posts, YouTube. I mean, there's lots of different options as far as going with personal brand. There are some people who are even using tools like TikTok or Instagram, Pinterest. Like it really just depends on where you feel comfortable and where your network lives and what kind of niche you're going into. You can build content like this video. Like this is essentially all about how you can use AI to earn more money in 2026. You can build out ideas like, this is how my workflow has been improved with AI. You can expose the kinds of tools that you use to build your products. There's all sorts of things that you can use. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be meta content. It could be information about a very specific industry. Like if you work in telecom, most of the telecom content is very boring. I'll be honest with you. It's a very difficult industry to understand. But if you have the knack for creating content that explains that industry very simply, then that is incredibly valuable to people that want to go work in the cell phone industry or want to go work in the wireline industry. Or maybe you're an expert at healthcare systems. Well, that could sound really boring to people or very complicated or confusing. But if you can explain that very easily to somebody that's interested in going and working at a hospital, you become valuable. You essentially get clients. You can do things like selling courses or building workshops or mentorships. Like there are lots of different business models that are out there for you. And the most important part is that you build authority so that when other people come to you with opportunities, you are their first person that they choose to come out to reach to for those, because other people may have really great ideas that you've never even thought of, and then they can bring that information to you. The last thing that you can do is create like an automation service, and so this is where I would think of as like I've heard this called like an automation agency, where essentially you build out a business. You may even like hire people to do this, and you create like an email automation system or a chatbot system or a data processing pipeline, something that is automation that a business could have you build, and then you charge them some sort of residual to continue to use it. I don't think of this necessarily as a SaaS business, because it's more like service as a software rather than software as a service. You want to have recurring income, but it's not necessarily like end users have a single tool that is useful for all of them. It's more like you're building out custom services for people, because with AI, the ability to build out solutions that are very customized for a particular business is much greater than it would be in the past, where we had to basically build out systems that compromised some piece, and then it was up to the business to modify their needs to fit your tool. It doesn't really work like that anymore. But I would say the most important part of deciding on all of these is that you really want to make sure that you are building and solving real problems and selling what you have to offer. Because most people that are engineers in particular, they're really focused on learning, but then they don't go and apply it. Like they'll just go and like watch a bunch of YouTube videos and say, oh, this is cool. This AI technology is really cool. Instead of like going and taking the video, asking for a summary, asking for a way that this could apply to an existing project, focusing on specific deliverables that come from content that you learn, and then applying it in your own business. Skills themselves don't really make you money. Baking them into solutions do, and baking them into a full business or a full methodology for solving a problem, that's what you need. So there are going to be some skills doing this that you may not be familiar with. Things like sales, marketing, cold outreach, like stuff that is more the business side and less the technical side. But you as a ready engineer are uniquely suited to do this, because you already are building your skill set in those places for a different context. You're building them usually for like an enterprise context, or for large business or commercial, not necessarily for small business. So just keep that in mind, that this is completely within your wheelhouse. And I encourage you to try out building out some systems that will help you earn some money. And those skills may actually end up helping you in your career inside of a company too. If you end up deciding this isn't really for you, or that you fail, you're going to learn something from it. And those lessons are going to be things that you can apply back into your career no matter where you go. All right, that's all I have for today. If you guys have any questions, post them in the chat.